Welcome YouTube and fellow Star Wars collectors. On this episode of Toys Are the Way, I will be unboxing the latest wave of figures from the vintage collection, and therefore we'll be taking a look at Lando Calrissian, IG-11, Teebo, and the Emperor. If you're new to the channel and enjoy this video, be sure to hit that like button and remember to subscribe for more future content. With that being said, let's get started. I haven't had much luck finding this wave in stores, so I'm very happy to finally have this wave delivered and eager to world build and set up scenes with the characters inside. First, we have the Emperor's Royal Guard, who will go well with the Emperor himself in a nice throne room display. We also have Endor Luke, who will interact really well with Teebo the Ewok on an Endor Forest scene, Princess Leia, and the Han Solo Carbonite from the Carbon Freezing Chamber set, who will go fantastically well with the new Lando Calrissian, allowing us to finally complete that display. And lastly, the Mandalorian and Child from Season 1, who I cannot wait to put side by side with the new IG-11. And here you can see a custom Nikto that I've made recently that I plan on using for that battle scene. This was my first attempt at making a custom figure, and I plan on sharing several of these in an upcoming video, so be sure to check that out. But let's get these figures out of the way and move on to the unboxing. So let's carefully open this up. And let's take a look what we have inside. And it's Lando himself. Let's see what's next. Oh yeah. IG-11. Looking really cool. So excited to get that. Lando as well. Really cool figures. This wave is just very exciting. We have another IG-11. Looking pretty good. Seems like there's a little damage right there, so that's going to be the opener. Let's put him right there. Let's see what's next. That's another Lando. As maybe many of you know, there are 3 Landos in this box. I mean, he's a great figure, so he's needed. A lot of people needed him for the Carbon Freezing Chamber set, so 3 is appropriate. And here we have Teebo. This one also looks like it's got a little bit of a dent right there. Actually from the other bubble being placed on top, so I'll probably open this because there's only one in a box and I can probably get a better sample of him later to keep on card. And here's the next Lando. He's also got a little bit of a dent, so I'll probably be opening that. I guess I'll have to check all of these. I have noticed that this wave seems to be very it fits very snug in this box. I'm guessing because these characters have pretty deep bubbles, so they must be fitting not as well in there. And here we have the Emperor. Also looks pretty cool. He seems like he also has a bit of a dent, which kind of sucks. I'm not a huge carded collector, but you know, I like to keep some things carded. This one's actually perfect, so that's awesome, because I do want to keep one of him carded. He looks cool. Very happy to have this. Yeah, looks great. Okay, so now let's take a look at these cards. And first up we have IG-11. Here we have him on his Mandalorian card with a nice warm color palette, an image of him from the series, the yellow name pill color, and a Kenner logo down below. I think this is a great looking card. The image is really good, but I would have liked to see maybe an image of him holding up his blaster or possibly in like an action pose from that like setting, that battle scene. Because right now it's kind of just a mirrored image of him in the bubble and then almost a very similar image of him from the series. So it's a little odd. It would have been cool to have something slightly different. Regardless, he looks great and he will display wonderfully with my Mandalorian carded collection. The figure itself looks really cool on that yellow color. Just no words can explain how great this figure is. On the back, he's VC206 in the line, And you can see the other pictures of the figures from the wave and some other recent figures we've gotten. Definitely a solid release and a really cool card. Happy to have this one. And next up we have Lando Calrissian. Here we have him on his Empire Strikes Back card with an orange name pill color, a wonderful image of Lando with the Kenner logo down below. I think that image just brings this whole card together. I think it was a really wise choice. I also really like the orange name pill color. I think it contrasts well with the blue of the figure. This whole card is just very, very appealing. I like it. On the back, he's VC205 in the line. Very, very excited to have this figure. It's good to finally get that carbon freezing chamber set complete. I'm excited actually to have multiple Landos because I would like to have that set up, but I would also like to have Lando in possibly a Bespin scene that I might make, like a diorama for my shelf. So it's good to have, multiple of these. And just looking at him, the articulation looks so fun. I'm very excited to get this open and just see what I can do. The soft goods cape, he just looks really cool. Very happy to have this in the line. And next up we have the Emperor himself. We have him here on his Return of the Jedi card with an image of the character from that film. I really like how Palpatine's robes fade to black, leading down here to the Kenner logo. It just really helps it pop. I think that's a nice design aesthetic. I love the green name pill color. I'm a big fan of greens and blues, and that just works really well with this blue cool tones that are going on in this image. The figure himself, he looks really cool. I just like how this looks against that green color. That's great stuff right there. On the back, he is VC200. That's very exciting that we got him to start off the 200s, It was a big deal to see who VC200 was, and it's pretty exciting to have it be the Emperor. It really should be, He is the main villain. It's a great looking card. Excited to have this figure and card added to the collection. And saving our small warrior for last, we have Teebo the Ewok. Here we have him on his Return of the Jedi card. He looks really cool. I'm a big fan of Ewoks. It's a nice image of Teebo right there with the Kenner logo. I like how his spear's in an attack position. It's just a really good image of him. I like the yellow name pill color. It helps the little Ewok pop off because he's a pretty dark color. And he looks cool. I like how many accessories are in this bubble. That's always a plus. I'm a big fan of accessories. And just overall, this is a great Return of the Jedi card. Here we have him on the back. It is VC207. The rest of the figures. And it's always exciting to get more Ewoks. I, of course, wish there would have been 2 in the case, but that's okay. I can always get another one of these, and I'll definitely have to open him up because the card is a little damaged, and I'm just excited to open up this Ewok. I'm a big fan of them. And here we have an impressive display of what Hasbro can do with the vintage collection. I can't emphasize enough how wonderful it is when a figure can pose easily due to great articulation, and IG-11 and Lando are absolutely top-notch figures. While Teebo and the Emperor may not have as much articulation as compared to the other two, it's nice that Hasbro included extra accessories to help balance this out. And overall, I'm extremely excited to add these figures to my collection. Each one looks fantastic in their own way. And let's begin by taking a look at Lando Calrissian. And it just has to be said that this is a really remarkable figure. It looks fantastic. The face sculpt is spot on. The soft goods are done well. And he is nicely articulated. This is a very impressive figure, and I'm happy to finally have it, and that we have a main character done in a definitive way. Let's take a closer look at his face sculpt. The paint apps look great, and it just looks spot on. It looks just like Lando from the film. The soft goods is really impressive that they were able to do this double-sided soft goods with the pattern. It looks way better than a plastic cape would have looked, and it looks convincing. It looks just like what we saw in the film. The collar was done well too. I am really impressed that that fits well and doesn't look awkward. And the little strap that connects it isn't too big, and just it fits well. It looks good. He comes with remarkable articulation. He has hinges at the wrist. He's got ball jointed elbows. He can move all sorts of ways. He's got this torso that allows for rotation. Some people aren't a big fan of how that looks, that it's like cut midway here, but it does not bother me at all. I think it looks fine. I don't think it's too overdone or anything like that. He's got ball jointed hips, swivels at the thigh, knee articulation, and he's also got ankles. And I gotta say that moving this figure around and posing him is a breeze because of all this nice modern articulation. It really just makes it overall fun. Because, you want to be able to have fun with your figures and not have a terrible time trying to pose them or anything like that. And he just looks good. This is a fantastic release. I'm happy to have this Lando. He comes with this Rebel Blaster, which is the only thing that I find a little funny, because he does not use that in Empire Strikes Back. He uses a Stormtrooper rifle when they're trying to escape. But, it's not a deal breaker, so I'm fine with it. The blaster itself has cool weathering on it, so it's a nice addition. But yeah, I just cannot get over the soft goods. They look really good. They could have possibly been just a touch bigger so that he can fully close this in front of him, as you saw in the film. But I think it looks fine. I'd rather have been this size as opposed to too big, which they normally do with a lot of soft goods. But yeah, fantastic figure. Truly, truly remarkable work here. And next we have Teebo. Looking really good. And first thing I really want to talk about is all the accessories he comes with. He comes with this headdress that looks really good. He comes with a club and a dagger. The headdress has this little horn that's attached to it, which is really cool. Let's put him down real quick and then take a look at the rest of the stuff. So he comes with another headdress, which, as you can see, is very similar, but also different. It doesn't drape over his chest as much, so that you have a second option. Put that down real quick. And then he also comes with this second little bandolier type thing, which you can put the dagger into. He also comes with this necklace, which that you see him wear in the film, which you can display better if you have the other headdress on. And then he comes with these two little drumsticks for beating on a drum, because that's a very Ewok thing to do. The only thing I'm actually a little sad he doesn't come with is a spear, because you see him holding a spear on the card. But I do have an extra spear that I can use from another Ewok, but I think that would have been something cool that they could have thrown in here too. Could have been nice. But yeah, let's get these other accessories out of the way real quick. So taking a look at him, you can see his face sculpt is done pretty well. I think he could have looked a little angrier, and it's a pretty good representation of the character. His paint and fur detail looks really good. Take a look at that. Looks nice. The headdress is done well. It's got good, detail and stuff like that. The club is actually really cool. I'm a fan of this club. It's impressive, the small details they included there. And then he's got all the articulation that you've probably seen on recent Ewoks, where he can turn like that. Got some joints down in his ankles, some hinges down there. They're not the most articulated characters. I would love an highly articulated Ewok, but it probably won't happen. I mean, you don't really see them doing somersaults in Return of the Jedi. But he's really cool. I'm really happy that he comes with all those spare accessories so you can change his look. And if you have two of these, perhaps, you can always mismatch them and create different Ewoks, which is a nice thing when they give us all those extra accessories. Because I do have doubles of certain Ewoks that I could paint up and make a custom character and just add more to your tribe. But yeah, he's a really solid release. I'm happy that they've been doing more Ewoks, and I look forward to seeing more in the future. Teebo's looking great. And next up we have IG-11, and I must say this thing is truly a work of art. The articulation, the sculpting are just mind-blowing on this figure. I cannot believe how easy it poses, and it just looks good. As you can see, he's got this cool hinge that allows him to move his arm, and then it can rotate as well. He's got another joint down here, which I was very careful when I first opened it because I've heard that this joint is a little flimsy, and it might be stuck, so you might have to warm that up in hot water to get it unstuck. But mine was good, and man, it's just impressive what they did with this figure. His hands gripped the blaster really well. It's just, I can't even get over it, like how crazy this figure is. Like the tooling. Oops, he dropped that blaster. Okay, we got it back. If I can get this to focus. Okay, so as you can see, the blasters fit really well, and you're able to work this in here and then slide his finger into that, which he holds the rifle really well. That was just gravity right there doing its work because I had it turned on its side too, but it's just really impressive. And he's also got ball hinge, like hips, like so crazy what they did with this figure. Beyond impressive, and I am very happy that I pre-ordered a couple of these because I plan to make a few customs, and just it's really worthy of multiple displays in your collection. Also, he's got articulation on his face, all his eyes move. It's a marvelous figure. The bandolier is sculpted really well. It's a separate piece. It's a nice malleable plastic, so it looks very believable. It looks like the leather one that he's wearing in the show. The paint app is nice. I like these gold colors that accent certain areas of him. The wires are nice. They don't seem to fall out very easily like the older IGs. He's got knee joints. These can turn. He's actually got a swivel at the thigh too. You can do some really crazy posing with this figure. He doesn't have any rocker ankles, but you know, he's a droid, so I don't know if they even would have a rocker ankle, but he poses really well without them. And it's just, he looks so good. Put him down real quick. And I actually have the older IG-88, and let's bring him in for comparison. And it's just, IG-11 really blows this one away, which some of you might have this figure and he's pretty good, but he's nowhere near as articulated as what we have now. And man, I am really excited for Hasbro to possibly give us an updated IG-88 one day, and until then I will make a kit bash custom. But yeah, very exciting stuff with these IGs now. Cannot get over it. His blaster is actually accurate to the show. I know some people were kind of concerned because if you compare this to other pulse rifles, it looks a little small, but it's actually smaller in the show, so it is accurate. Cannot get over this. This is absolutely A+ work from Hasbro. Very excited. And lastly, we have the villain himself, VC200, the Emperor. And I will say off the bat, I like the soft goods. I think they have been done pretty well. The plastic hood, I'm not a big fan of these usually, but I think this one was done well, and I think it looks convincing. I think it works pretty well. The figure itself is not fully updated to like modern articulation. It's actually the same body as the Phantom Menace Darth Sidious. So he doesn't have ball jointed hips, he only has these swivels, and he's got knee articulation, he's got ankle articulation, no rocker ankles of anything of that sort. But I think ball jointed hips could have been a nice addition and upgrade to this figure. And, you know, just those lower portion upgrades would have really made this a very definitive Emperor figure. Because I would like to personally put him in like a bit more action scenes. I know he doesn't do a ton of that in the film or anything like that, but you know, it'd be nice to show how powerful he is, you know. And there have been moments where Sidious, you know, he uses force powers and he's pretty acrobatic, so I'm sure he could still do it by the time of Return of the Jedi. And it would just be nice, but this articulation just is very limiting when it comes to that. You can get stuff done, but it's tricky, as you can see, to get him to stand. Let's see if that works. So it can be done, but ball jointed hips will really make this a lot more enjoyable. He comes with the accessory of his lightning hands, which I think look really good. I think the blue plastic that they used is very convincing, and I like the details on the hands. It's nice sculpting. So to apply those, you simply twist and pull the wrist. It comes off pretty easily. And then you can take the lightning hand and simply place it inside that peg hole. And there you go. He has his lightning hands. So I think that's cool that they included that. It's a nice addition. And here you have his face sculpt, which he looks very silly without his hood, so definitely keep his hood on. But they did a pretty good job. It's got nice detail. Let's get the hood back on. As you can see, that comes off and goes on pretty easily. So it's not the best Emperor, but it is a very good release. There's just a few things I wish they could have done. I am happy that they, you know, did soft goods, not like heavy plastic capes. That I'm just not a big fan of that. And overall, it's a good figure. So I'm happy to have it. I'm excited to set up a throne diorama and have him recreate some of the scenes from Return of the Jedi. And I'm happy that we got some extra accessories with him as well. I hope you've enjoyed this unboxing video and taking a look at these new figures from the Vintage Collection. Be sure to leave your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. Who's your favorite character from this wave? Would you like to see other main characters from the Star Wars universe brought up to the same level of quality and articulation? I'd love to hear about it. And please remember to hit that like button and subscribe if you're new to the channel. It really helps and is greatly appreciated. Thanks everyone, and I'll see you on the next one.